Play the sketch.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Oh right.
Yeah.
You don't gotta prep me, baby. Roll the balls out. Let's fucking play, dude. Let's fucking podcast. The fuck? I don't need to know what the fuck we're talking about.
We're in. Let's go.
Okay, let's roll. Let's roll. Greetings, friends. It's Friday, December 29th for us, but January 1st for you. Welcome to Chapo Trap House, broadcasting from the past. Hope everyone's having a great 2024. New year, new me. But for me, it's still the old me because it's 2023, the horrible year that will never end. Okay, as you've already heard, we're joined today by the great Stavvy, baby. Stav, welcome back.
How we doing, boys? Thanks for having me.
I hope you had a very Merry Christmas. Felix, everyone had a good Christmas? Everyone got some good presents?
Yeah, I had a terrific Christmas. This was one of those years where, you know how like it gets to November and you're like, all right, I'm going to take a day to think of everyone's gifts.
Oh, okay.
I kept trying to do that and just no fucking idea. There's only one other straight male in the family for me to shop for.
Only one pocket pussy is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
that's
for me. It's easy. I got three straight males in my family. That's three pocket pussies every year. We see whatever the newest one is, you know.
The tactical fleshlight.
Yeah. Yep. Replace your sniper scope with it and fuck it that way.
I got my brother-in-law a tactical flashlight. It has a flashlight attached to it that's as bright as a car's headlights. It's and if you get trapped in your car while you're jacking off, like the back of it can break the window.
Yeah.
I like to put an SRO red dot on them because otherwise I may miss my leg when I pull out.
Yeah, that would be great if you could aim the JIT with the tactical. We got to get it. Look, these are all great ideas. I know we're having a nice laugh, boys, but this is great. This is great first responder stuff. We would need an Iraq War veteran who got his dick blown off to be like the spokesperson, and we could call it like, you know, take that Saddam fleshlights or something like that. Like it would have to be like some kind of one of those badass skull and bones former operator companies. It's like Black Rifle Coffee or like shit like that. We need that version of fleshlights.
After a hard day of patrolling the streets of Baghdad, me and the boys hit the barracks and we worked out our aggression on the tactical Lisa Ann fleshlight with the suppressor.
Yeah. We weren't lucky enough to be able to molest children like the Afghan warlords that we had to we had to fashion our own fleshlights out of Gatorade bottles and sponges.
Think how scary like a fleshlight that someone made in World War I would look like.
Oh my
It would
God.
it would be like Harrow's half face from Boardwalk Empire. It would have like a fucked up kind of realistic like lips and eyes on it.
Yeah.
It would be like everything back then. Because you know people have been trying to make fleshlights since there was like language, probably.
Time, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what Sumerian script was used for, to label fleshlight. The first alphabet came from that. The cuneiform. Yeah.
2001, but it's a bunch of apes like hooting and hollering around a giant tactical fleshlight. And then they throw it up in the air. It's like a million years pass, and then it's just me furiously jacking off. I'm like, oh God, this plastic pussy feels so good.
I think we're onto something. Or maybe it's like they when they took over Uday Hussein's palace, they opened up a room and it was just full of state of the art fleshlights, like behind all the tigers and shit. It was and like his enemies in molten gold, preserved in molten gold. He was the first guy to invent fleshlights. Maybe that's actually how it started. We got a lot.
That was the type of shit that he did. Like
fully.
Whenever there was someone who is like, if you were like on the Iraqi judo team and you didn't medal in the Olympics, this guy who like assuredly was not following judo that year.
Right.
He would hear about it and be like, all right, buddy, guess who's getting killed and getting his skull hollowed out so I can fuck it. And it's like a Rock didn't get that many medals, so presumably he did that to a lot of
He had to
people.
do
I don't know
a
what
lot
he
of skull
expected.
fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
God,
that's
that was-
brutal. It is awesome to have one old-fashioned, like, medieval king's son still in power. The Hussein boys really, like, that's a true Nepo baby. He didn't use it to try and become an actress. You know what I mean? He's not trying to sell his shitty memoir, his shitty fucking his like book of essays. No, my man was taking his dad's wealth and he was executing his enemies. I love it.
But what I like about them is that only one brother was like, taking actresses hostage and like killing fucking people for the Olympics. Like it seemed like only one was doing that.
Right.
But his brother clearly wasn't into that, but he he died fighting it out with him. And I think that's like me and my brother. I don't do any of that. I've never kidnapped anyone fully.
Right.
I've never in my own house.
Right.
But maybe I'll say things that my brother wouldn't say. But
right.
I think that if we were facing off against the 10th Mountain Division, he would fight to his death with me.
Yes,
I really like family bonds like that.
That's beautiful. Now, those guys didn't actually see any combat, did they? Or they really did?
They got aired the fuck out when they were like hold up in their like some sort of hideout. They were like, "You'll never take me alive, copper."
Oh, that's fucking sick.
They got annihilated.
Yeah, they got each got hit with like 60 bullets. Like, they blew they killed the shit out of them.
You know what's it's not fair, dude. That's not fair because he got to live even his death is awesome. He got to be a murderer and
go
steal
out like Sonny Corleone.
He got to go out like Sonny. He got his life ruled, dude. Like from a pure what a man's perfect life is. Like you take morality out of it, do whatever the fuck you want at any moment that you want, create a bunch of enemies, and then flout the U.S. government, flout the most powerful military that's in your country unjustly, and probably at least wound a couple of them, if not, if he even killed one soldier while being fuck you
Valhalla.
guys.
Valhalla.
He's in rapist Valhalla right now.
You know, dude, I gotta say about Uday and Kusei and their dad. I wish they're still around so bad. I wish we had them back. And
I miss them, man. I miss their voice. I need them to comment on cancel culture.
I always liked how when Saddam was on death row, he would give these jokey interviews, and it's like they just killed 2 of your sons and they're about to kill you, and he'd be like, "Well, on Sundays I get more bread," and it's like you have the best attitude.
Yeah, you know what? That's probably what got him where he was today, or where he was at the point. It's just think positive
for a guy who killed people. He was really positive, but the fact that going back, the fact that Uday and Kusei got these kind of cool martyrs deaths that they absolutely didn't deserve. Mm-hmm. That's perfect. That really sums up the invasion.
Yeah,
just taking one of the worst guys and accidentally just giving him the best death anyone could ask for.
Yep.
Like you said, sending him to rapist Valhalla.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just up there shaking hands with Bill Cosby when he dies. It's like, welcome, brother. Yeah. It's Uday's waiting for Bill Cosby. He's waiting. I don't know what are some other great sexual assaulters of Genghis Khan's up there already.
Really, almost anyone who was alive before. I'm going to say 1996.
Yeah. Oh, what's his face? Spartacus. He was Kirk
Douglas. Yeah.
Kirk Douglas, yeah.
It's okay. He's dead. He's dead. So we can talk about what he did to Natalie Wood. Not the murder, but the rape.
He's a complete piece of shit. He's up there.
Look it up, folks.
Yeah.
Look it up.
I know about that one.
Yeah, every famous actor.
Everyone, the only actors, back then who were even kind of nice to those girls, 12-year-olds that they would have, playing the wife of a 37-year-old man in a movie, were the guys who were gay. That was it.
Yes.
Everyone else was they would go to their terrible stage mom.
Oh, that makes so much sense. That's why everybody loved Cary Grant, right? Wasn't he a closeted homosexual?
I believe he was bisexual.
Oh, never mind. Rescinded. So he fucked everybody. Respect.
Yeah,
if the thing Stavvy is, I like pussy and dick. I like that. It's just I simply can't get enough. And then yesterday I was fucking Jimmy Stewart, and he said, "Could you please?" He was like, "Carrie, could you please slow down? You gotta butter me up a little bit.
I'm gonna bust. Oh, jeez."
If you were a heterosexual actor besides like Humphrey Bogart, you would just go up to the worst stage mom ever, who's she's like drinking morphine that she got at Walgreens.
Yes. Yeah.
I'd like
lemon lime flavored morphine.
Yeah,
you could also clean your floors with.
You go up to her. Like, she was about to sell her daughter until she noticed that she had, like, high cheekbones and was like, oh.
She could tap dance.
Yeah. And you're like, I'd like to invite your 11-year-old daughter to an orgy I'm hosting. Yeah. And they're like, oh, okay. That's actually pretty exciting. I thought you'd want my older daughter, but that's completely fine.
Oh, yeah. She's blacked out. That's, all of Hollywood. So yeah, basically those guys are hanging out with Uday. It's just a good party up there in dirtbag Valhalla, piece of shit Valhalla.
Well, actually, Felix, right before we started recording, I saw this story, which features some a good father and son interaction. As long as we're talking about Saddam and his kids. This is the headline here from Complex.com. Boozy badass thinks his son smokes too much. He gonna turn into a weed plant. And this is about Boozy. This is about Boozy and his son Tootie Raw. And it says here, during a recent Instagram live stream, Boozy Badass expressed concern over his 20-year-old son's smoking habits. As seen in the clip from the stream below, Boozy was talking to his fans and followers when he asked someone off camera where his son Tootie Raw was. He was told he was outside in his car, apparently smoking. He gonna turn into a weed plant, Boozy responded. He a weed plant with shoes on. Everything revolves around smoking. So, it goes on, and he just talks about how he can't really talk to his son about this because he was the same way when he was 20.
Right,
and he's that way now.
Yeah.
I see him on, he's on Vlad, and he's drinking morphine through a twisty straw. And he's like that interview where he's like, I like the real high school volleyball player white girls. Just saying stuff that would be career ending for anyone else.
Well, speaking of things that would be career ending for everyone else. I'm reading this article and I'm like, come on, Tootie Raw, don't smoke weed all day. But then I get to the last I get to the last paragraph and it says here, Boozy and Tootie sparked backlash last year after a video appeared to show them examining a woman's genitals with a magnifying glass. In the bizarre clip, Boozy could be heard telling his then 18-year-old son, "Look at the pussy, son." Many criticized Boozy for his hypocrisy after he went on several homophobic rants directed at Lil Nas X for displaying his sexuality in music videos.
Wait. Hold on.
Look at that pussy, son. Look at that pussy.
I'm sorry. Hypocrisy? The man, what happens in the home? Look, if a gay guy wants to show his gay son how to fuck a man's ass, that can happen in the home. Just don't put that out there on YouTube, okay? That's all I'm saying. Boozy was teaching his son how to be straight. Okay, that's the man. It's like, I believe in parents' rights.
Yeah.
And if Boozy wants to pretend he's Sherlock Holmes and a woman's pussy is the clue that solves the murder, and his son is looking at it through a magnifying glass, that's up to him as far as I'm concerned.
The game is afoot, son.
Speaking Boozy's view of the world and how he learns things, he is a lot like Socrates. That's something he would do. It's like today's lesson, me and my son are going to examine a pussy to try to figure out where herpes.
This is where women breathe through.
Yeah. It's a very naturalistic Socratic method of figuring out the world. That's
awesome.
That's what he does. And Socrates famously said that if Plutarch goes to prison in Athens, he'll have butt thugs.
Right.
He'll make a boss call. He was just like Boozy.
Yeah. It's funny. Socrates. This is great. Socrates killed himself because the butt thugs took over Athens, i.e., Sparta.
Right.
They lost the Peloponnesian War. He drank the hemlock and was like, "Don't do it, man.
That is true.
Don't do it, man.
Don't rape your son. Don't rape your son, Leonidas."
Yeah, that is actually true. That's historically accurate.
Yeah,
because Athens was pretty gay, but compared to Sparta,
when
they're the straightest men alive.
Athens was like Sex and the City gay. Sparta was like prison gay.
Yeah,
Sparta, it was a whole society based around fucking rape.
It's not even gay. It's just like they were like, I don't even like having sex with a 7-year-old. I just like that they're in pain. It'll make them better at war. They were like, that pissed me off so much in 300, where they're like, oh yeah, we're not like Athens where they have sex with their sons. It's like, who do you think you are?
How dare you? How dare you? Athenians will accidentally have sex with a woman like 30% of the time. Sparta keeps all their women like literally. I'm not even it's been lost to history if they even ever penetrated women or if they just kind of like nutted and tried to aim it into their pussies to make sons. You know, like we don't know for a fact that they ever fucked women. We know
it was
that
like a drip coffee.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. No, I'm with you. Fuck that. You're so right. I haven't seen 300 since I was high as shit in high school. But I'm gonna rewatch it and get pissed off at the historical inaccuracies.
Oh, you're telling me Frank Miller wasn't a classics major? Surprise me.
When we saw 300, we saw like another kid from our high school seeing it with his mom, and we were like, "What a fucking loser!" Like ignoring the fact that we were just like 5 boys hanging out with no girls ever. Just like seeing 300 with like 6 of your male friends. Cool.
Yeah, dude. No, that guy was
cool, guys.
That guy was a bitch. I agree with you. I'm actually you were a loser, but so he was actually also a bitch. I have to admit.
I ended up having sex this year.
Nice
for the first time.
This 2023.
Yeah, it was a long run since seeing 300 till now, but I finally did it. I put out a call on Instagram. I was like, help me have sex before I'm 40, and a lot of people helped out.
Dude, that's awesome. I'm really happy.
Boozy came over with a magnifying glass and like an electron microscope.
Walked you through it, piece by piece.
Yeah,
you know what else I'd like about the magnifying glass? What was he pointing out exactly? Like, was he just like, here's the hole, here's the hood,
man?
Like, he wasn't going by it wasn't like health class, right? He wasn't saying what the different lips are named and shit like that. He was literally just like showing him pussy and being like, "You're gonna want to check that out, man. That's where your cock goes."
That is literally like what doctors were like in Tol Pastor. That's like how you did doctor stuff. It was either like just staring at a pussy for 7 hours and then being like, "All right, I've seen it enough.
All right, that's enough."
How much is your husband beating you? Should be more.
For next week, let's up it, and the week after that, we'll take it down a couple notches, and we'll see what the effects are.
Yeah, and then it was that, or like, a guy comes in with headaches, and you take out both his eyes, and you're like, I'm saving lives. I'm amazing at my job.
Yeah, you could get away with so much shit if you were like a surgeon too. You could just literally do whatever you wanted. No one was stopping you. You could put like chicken cutlets if a guy like lost his like liver. You could just be like, all right, let's put a fucking a calf spleen in here, see if that'll fucking do it, and just fucking sew him shut. Yeah, shout out to Boozy. He's basically Socrates and a doctor from the year 1700 all in one.
All right, well, moving on from one, there's a medical examination. So I got 2 stories about sort of updates in the world of comedy and entertainment over the last couple of weeks.
Well, the first one, I think, before we get crazy, is Fat Rascal on Netflix streaming now.
Yes.
It was in the top 10 for the first week, for whole first week it came out. Folks, if you haven't seen it, if you're tuning into Chapo and you're thinking, boy, I hope this guest has something smart to say. Oh, they're talking about Uday Hussein raping and looking at pussy through a magnifying glass. This is my kind of guy. I want more stuff like this without even the chance of something smart by accident being said. Well, check out Fat Rascal on Netflix right now, folks. It's a great stand-up comedy special.
If you're the type of listener to listen to us and not even know what Fat Rascal is, not even know who Stav is, you repulse me. You're the fucking worst.
Well, I hate to follow Stav. I hate to follow up news about your Netflix special with news about another comedy special that I'm sure will obliterate yours among its mirth, humor, and good cheer. I'm referring, of course, headline from the Times of Israel. Actor Brett Gelman joins Erhetz Neheredret to skewer U.S. progressives. In Christmas-themed skit, a star of Stranger Things and Fleabag plays professor who misinforms woke students about Jewish colonialist power, insisting Jewish Jesus is Palestinian. Now, okay, I don't know if you saw this clip. It was quite amusing. But it featured the return of the really popular Airhead Nederet returning sort of recurring sketch comedy characters, U.S. progressives who have blue hair and talk about pronouns. And now, so they play.
These guys have just become the Daily. This is awesome that they're the Daily Wire now. It's the same level of satire.
With all due respect to these Eastern wise men, we're from Berkeley.
Okay. Anyway, they gave us their blessing and they told us that our newborn son will be the king of the Jews.
Jews? Jews? What do you mean Jews?
I don't see anything Jewish here.
You have to understand, Jews will only come to this land 1,948 years from now.
As a colonialist power.
Oh, I see someone's been listening this semester.
True.
So it says here, the Stranger Things star, who was on a solidarity visit, joined the cast of the Channel 12 comedy show to film a nativity scene with a twist. Instead of three wise men from the East, baby Jesus is visited by a threesome from the University of California, Berkeley, who were well-versed in anti-Israel talking points. We are three wise men from the West, says the professor upon entering the manger, only to be corrected by Harlev's character, three wise persons. Jesus' mother, Mary, played by Alma Zak, asked the three to let her rest, and her husband Joseph, played by Yaniv Bitcoin, says the family had just been visited by three wise men from the East, to which Gelman's character replies, with all due respect to these Eastern wise men, we're from Berkeley. Now, I know we're only listening to it here, but I must stress that in this sketch portraying the three wise men from the West, Brett Gelman is dressed like the Riddler.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is it's crazy for that guy to all of a sudden be talking about blue hairs and they thems when it's he's dressed like gayer Jordan Peterson the last 3 years. He's dressed like Bushwick Jordan Peterson the last 3 years. It's fucking weird, dude. To be that guy who's oh yeah, these freaks are talking about crazy shit. It's just such an insane thing for that guy of all guys. That's shocking to me. I would have assumed, he would have been trans by now. For real.
I hate his thing of how he's he wears that chain that says Jaddy. I hate his whole thing of being sexy. To me, it's even more offensive than his thing where he's actually Palestinians don't need to drink water for 3 weeks at a time. They're both pretty offensive, but him being very sex positive and being oh, I'm a sexy, bald, fat Jewish guy is really upsetting to me. And it's what
get
the
it.
fuck? There is
Does Daddy mean Jewish daddy? Is that?
Yeah. And it's that's a certain type of Jewish man where there's a mutual attraction between him and women who look like they could have been typists for the SS. That's a different thing. Brett Gelman looks like he's a Liberty Mutual regional manager who sometimes sings at synagogue.
Right.
You are
Yes.
like you are not getting them wet, Brett.
Right.
Unless they had something terrible happen to them while they're working at a nonprofit.
And it may be. I get what you're saying. Is I do think it's an intangible, like it's a tightrope act to be a fat, bald, sex positive man. And I know firsthand, it's like, it's all about the intangibles. You can't have like a weird, creepy, it's got to feel natural. And there was like a hard rebrand into like streetwear and fashion that, like, it seemed like maybe my man was losing his mind a little bit. Like, until all this shit, whatever, live and let live. You want to be a fucking dork, I don't give a fuck. But to just like take this hard turn where you're just like, yeah, listen, I mean, if Palestinians don't want to potentially be nuked, maybe they should just start digging their own grave. Why do they make us even dig the graves? You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's just such a weird, where I literally, it's almost like, how Joe Biden is like too old to even be mad at anymore. It's like, he needs to be like, put down basically for his own good, or just put into hospice. That's the thing with Gelman, where it's like, has this man literally lost his mind? He's wearing like a mother's trousers from the 80s. He's wearing like if like Don Draper was on heroin and he woke up next to a fat bitch, she would be wearing the same jumper as Brett Gelman wears. You know what I mean?
That is literally it. The fact that he started doing this when he was like 54. Yes. Like it's like if I got into b-boying now. Well, my false friends would be like, "That's very cool," and my real friends would they would take me to international waters, kill me, end this embarrassment.
The other thing, two other things I want to note about this article, like it talks about how it includes Brett Gelman with sort of like the reoccurring characters on this sketch show, like it's like the Israeli version of the copy room guy. Hey, making the copies.
Right.
Yeah, I'm in the hospital. And they said the sort of woke they them college students, which became a hit after their clip went viral earlier this year. And I was like,
did it go viral?
It went viral because basically everyone was like, "Can you believe how awful this is?" And then they said this clip has also gone viral. It's been shared so many times, and I was like, it's been shared by people being like, like, can you believe how unfunny
this is crazy?
Are?
Yeah.
So just one last thing about b-boying here. Just the last.
Do you understand what's crazy? I'm sorry to cut you off, but do you understand how hard it is to find unfunny Jewish comedy writers?
Yeah.
Like it's like insane. It's like, in theory, these should be the most Jewish guys of all time, right? Like, it's distilled Jewish guy to be a Zionist. No disrespect, Felix. Like, that's like double Jew. It's like really like these are in theory the most Jewish guys, and to be that unfunny. There is not one really funny Zionist. That's great. There's got to be a couple. And that's the best they can come up with.
Like, that's what I said when I saw the first clip that I ever saw from them, which is the one where, like, it's supposed to be Greta Thunberg and her friends, and they're like, "I'm a cow that is for the slaughterhouse. I'm a queer for Hamas." And you're like, what the fuck is this? And it's like, it's not even that they're Jewish and bad at comedy writing. It's like they're Jewish and they are bad at abstract thought.
Right.
They're like, it's like
because every joke has to be thunderingly literal.
Right, that's right. It's all thunderingly literal, but also like you can't. Sometimes it's hard to figure out what they mean because they're trying to jam in 30 different culture war things at once.
Right,
and it's ultimately like if you brought a bunch of cavemen to modern times and gave them an hour to recreate Mad TV. It's like, all right, figure out language and then do it. I don't care.
Okay, but Stav, you said like it's crazy that like they can't find anyone funnier than Brett Gelman. But like last couple paragraphs here. Gelman is one of several Jewish Hollywood celebrities to make solidarity trips to Israel since the start of the war on Palestinian terror group Hamas. That's a nice way of putting it. Other visitors included comedian Jerry Seinfeld, Will and Grace star Deborah Messing, and Michael Rappaport. The latter three in particular have been vocal in their support of Israel on social media. Last little sentence here. On his visit to Israel, Rappaport also partnered with Eretz Neharat to produce a skit satirizing American higher education. Okay, that clip I have seen nowhere.
That's crazy.
They filmed that sketch with Michael Rappaport, and then like they took the canister with like the clip in it, and they sealed it in like the vault where they keep their nuclear weapons. They're like, no one can see this. No one must be allowed to see this.
That's crazy. You're right. I've what's the so there's one guy who's like collabing with all these people. What's his name? Ursats or some shit?
No, this is the name of the sketch show. It's called Eretz Neharat.
That's their Mad TV.
It's like the Israeli SNL.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
If Israel ever gets like, they fully lose a war in the conventional sense, like they get overrun, they will release the Michael Rappaport.
It's their Samson option.
That's the Samson option because it will cause nuclear war. Like it is a madness device for whoever sees it. Like we've seen what they release. Imagine they have the good sense to see something and be like, I don't think people should see that.
Oh yeah, if that's what's coming out, what's on the cutting room floor? What are the bloopers like?
Yeah, we've seen the ones where it's like Santa is receiving a letter that says like Israel, and he's like, "What? Wait, what?" And they made that, and they're like, "This is fucking cool." The Michael Rappaport thing has to be one of the worst things ever made.
You guys have looked for it? You can't find it?
He's probably trying to like wrap all of Illmatic, but make it about the foundation of Israel.
Yeah. This would be fucking awesome. It's like, what if Golda Meir was in Tribe Called Quest?
Okay.
No, I'm in an ear-goon state of mind.
All right, here we go. This is from the Michael Rappaport, an Israeli TV skit satirizing U.S. college anti-Semitism, and in this it says American Jewish actor and comedian Michael Rappaport was a guest of the Israeli satirical show Eretz Neharat on Tuesday night, appearing in a skit poking fun at the heads of prominent American universities. See, all I can see from this is just a photo of him, and he's like has a long beard like Moses or something. I will not investigate further.
Yeah, that's all right. If the fact that it's like even exists, and like that's somebody with a big platform who's famous, and that hasn't been out there, it's proof enough.
Yeah. I mean, I see a screenshot from it, and that's sort of like the proof of life in the hostage video. Netanyahu's just like, keep protesting. You want to see 30 seconds? You want to see 30 seconds of Rappaport doing this sketch? Okay. Is that what you want?
I wonder what he tries to like b-boy and his pants fall down.
That would be a good sketch, though. That's funny.
Actually, that would be like the best culture that country has produced. With Bashir.
I'm just trying to imagine, like, were there German American comedians during World War II who did like goodwill tours to Berlin?
Probably.
It was probably like about as good as this.
Yeah. Oh, like God, that's a really horrifying thought. What is less funny, Israeli comedy or German comedy?
Oh, interesting.
German comedy in the 40s. Like, comedy in the 40s was already fucking dire.
Right, right.
There was just no one funny until Red Fox. And then fucking make it
it's clowning.
German.
It's like, it'd be like a lot. I mean, it's basically like hitting people in the dick and like, beating the fuck out of your child. Like, that's how Buster Keaton got his start, was literally on stage. His dad would beat the fuck out of him, and that was like the best comedy show. They would tour the country beating the fuck out of their child. And that's the kind of comedy we're looking at, basically. that's probably what it would be like.
I guess it would be like, this is a stock character in German comedy. The bureaucrat who forgot his lunch. Amazing, guys. Thank you.
Hey, here's a story about like a little comedy sketch from right here in the U.S. of A. Day before Christmas, Kevin Spacey reprises House of Cards role in Tucker Carlson interview. I gotta say this. I remember, but just a few years ago, when like the Christmas Day Kevin Spacey video drop was like better than fucking having a tree full of presents.
So right.
Tree full of presents, because he would get on there out of nowhere after disappearing for years, like having disappeared from the public eye after like multiple rape charges, and then he would get on these homemade videos where he would like accuse the royal family of England and basically blackmail them in a video clip. He would do one clip. He did one clip where he was sitting on a park bench and did like a heartfelt plea for mental health awareness, begging people who are considering committing suicide to just like hang on there and talk to someone. And then like a couple days later, like 8 witnesses testifying against him killed themselves.
He is awesome.
Okay,
it's crazy.
I don't know if he dropped. I don't know if he dropped one last year. So I was so hyped for this, and I was like, "Oh, he's playing Frank Card in the Tucker Carlson interview." I gotta say, I watched this clip, and Tucker, you are this year's most washed man for doing this bullshit.
Oh no,
Tucker
really? It wasn't good.
Oh god, it was such dog shit. And Tucker should be ashamed of himself for doing this. I mean, he's trying to be like the cool, edgy, like online, like based newscaster, and he's doing this.
I guess he is, yeah.
Dude,
oh god, it was so fucking whack.
That's what I said. Is like, isn't Tucker supposed to? He's supposed to be like out there, and he's saying all these things you can't say. But this was like, this is for your enormous aunt, the biggest aunt that history has ever created. No one thinks this is funny. It's just like, it's so lame that it like, if you put it on paper and it's like, this guy molested all these people and killed them, you're like, oh my God, that's so scary. And then you see him do this fucking jib jab shit and you're like, this guy couldn't kill anyone. Yeah, actually, it worked then. He's innocent. No one like that. No one like that could kill someone.
I guess the thing, it just kind of ruins the whole. It's the thing of two people are trying to be funny at the same time. Like, the only way that could possibly work is if Tucker was pure straight man, I guess. Is that what he's doing in the video, or is he trying to be funny too?
I mean, he's just trying to play along with like the character of Frank Card, and then Kevin Spacey's doing like the turn to the camera and like do his little asides like he did on the show.
Right.
He's like, now Tucker, like a Christmas for me is just a little bit of a gathering under the mistletoe, sipping eggnog, and wrapping presents by the fire. And then like he turns to the camera and he's like, actually, I do an 8-ball of Coke and run over a reindeer. And then Tucker's like, marvelous. Thank you, Senator Card. And then like they just talk about, I think they both got fired by their networks. Like he's like, I watch Netflix probably as much as you watch Fox, Tucker. And then he's just like, and then Tucker's just sitting there grinning like a fucking baby. And he's just like, sounds like you're running.
Dude, yeah, this like, how like in 2017 people were like, Trump is bad, but he's like too absent-minded. But if Tucker was ever president, like we'd
we'd do the gas chambers tomorrow.
Dude, Tucker would be like a Benjamin Harrison type president. He would be one of those 87-day presidents after seeing this. He wouldn't even get cooed by the military. Like,
he'd get the flu.
He'd get cooed by the Coast Guard.
Right, exactly. Exactly. The Coast Guard or like the SWAT team that works for like the national parks would be like, all right, buddy, it's time to go. And he'd be like, okay. He's such a pussy.
Yeah, he took he got his ass fucked leaving Fox for sure. His show was going on Twitter, right? And then just nobody ever watches it.
When I saw him sitting in front of the fireplace, it's like, you suck. This is so stupid. I mean, this isn't your granddad's Christmas. Actually, it is. That's the only person who would find this funny. Someone born in 1937, you fucking idiot.
It's just Kevin Spacey mugging and just being like, Tucker, now I swear, when I'm president, the only bunny in the White House will go be the Easter Bunny. And then Tucker's like, that's great. Wow, sounds like a campaign slogan. And he's like, Tucker, we need some adults in the room,
Yeah. What's even the point? What's in the point of doing that? The shock factor's gone. The first video was
insane.
One of the greatest moments when someone explained it to me, and I was like, "You watch something fake? Like, no, somebody edited? Like, it's like this guy's accused of crimes right now. He came out of the closet to get out of rape. Like, this guy's not gonna in character."
I simply must stress, Kevin Spacey. I know he won a couple Oscars, but like he's still an actor. And then he appeared in a public video where he appeared to blackmail the House of Windsor.
Yes.
That's that's
awesome.
I know winning an Academy Award gives you some clout, but like he was just like, well, now Queen Elizabeth, we wouldn't want too many lifts to be a wagon about young Prince Andrew now. But I gotta say, as long as Kevin Spacey is reprising characters he played in movies and TV show, I'd like to see him do another interview reprising the great character he played in Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, gay antique dealer who murders a gay prostitute.
Damn, my man's had a little fucking. He's had a little. He's a method actor for that one. He's put in the hours to do that one. Apparently, he had like one of the most insanely fucked up childhood, like the kind of childhood that makes you a murderer. Like his dad was apparently like literally a child molesting Nazi.
Yes.
and that yeah, you're not going to come out being a regular human being after that shit. And instead of like, it's literally the childhood that makes like serial killers. And then people were like, well, I guess Kevin Spacey just like, instead of becoming a serial killer, learned how to play a serial killer by that. And then it's like, well, maybe just both, because it really like, I would not fuck with him. Like he did blackmail the Queen of England. He's beat every case. He's just walking around, dude.
Beat every case
people
because
die.
like key witnesses kill themselves or die in car accidents. Like it sounds like a joke. It sounds made up.
It's what people accuse the Hillary Clinton of doing. Kevin Spacey is for sure doing. Hillary, it's still 50-50. Kevin's 100% doing that kind of shit.
And you know what? And this is the thing that pisses me off about the Tucker Carlson interview, that like he had Kevin Spacey on to do a lengthy interview on his Twitter show, and he's supposed to be like, I'm going to expose the truth. Why did he consent to doing this goofball interview with Kevin Spacey in character instead of asking him questions about what the fuck, like what's up with the Queen of England and like all this rape mafia that you're a part of?
So, first of all, when I first read about Kevin Spacey's childhood, because Stav, I read the same thing, it made me sad because, like, the idea of your dad dressing up like Hitler is very whimsical. Like, if my dad had done that, we would be like, that was hilarious.
Yeah,
granted, when you're Jewish, it's different. But like his dad wasn't doing it for comedic purposes, which is very evil.
That's true.
You should only do it to make your children laugh. Like
it's like John Wayne Gacy being a clown that kills people. It's like regular clown, awesome. Funny Hitler, hilarious.
Okay,
there was a point where like that was the funniest thing you could do when we thought Nazis were gone. We didn't know they'd be just popping back up. Like when we thought Nazis were gone for sure. A Jewish guy dressing up like Hitler, funniest joke possible.
I thought like I would be doing it all the time as an adult, but they took it away from me.
Yeah, dude.
But like, his dad ruined Hitler for everyone by being a pedophile and actually believing in Hitler's stuff. But the interview is so fucking lame too, because like you said, it's like when I saw that Tucker was interviewing Kevin Spacey, it's like, well, we're probably not going to get anything juicy, but maybe he'll do this. He'll like blackmail someone else or something. But no, he's just sitting there playing this stupid ass character and like complaining about wokeness.
Yeah,
that sucks. This is so fucking stupid. It's like you saw Bryan Singer probably dissolve a body in acid, and you're in this pussy's fucking living room being like, my only pronouns are barbecue ribs. It's like, shut the fuck up. I hope you are innocent. I hope they ruined your life for this.
Okay, Spacey helped Singer get some like twink from Nebraska's eyeballs out of the fucking pool, out of the pool filter. He's fished out twink eyeballs from pool filters, and now he's just talking about this bullshit. You're so right, Felix.
It's so fucking lame. I really got mad at it. Tucker is. I feel the same thing that I felt when I found out that AOC bought a Tesla. That's what Tucker's like for believing what Elon Musk told him. It's like, you're actually stupid. You're actually a fucking stupid man.
And dude, that's what. I didn't really fucking watch Tucker, at all. But like, people, you'd see the clips, whatever. But I really did put him in my head as like the guy that's like, well, this fucking guy knows what he's doing. Most watched show. He's pulling he's a good propagandist type of motherfucker. And then I had that exact moment when it's like, wait, he thinks Twitter's gonna work.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, like that's kind of fucking crazy. For a second, I was like,
he thinks he can replicate an audience of like 70 million geriatrics by having a TV show on Twitter.
And I guess you're right in terms of like, I see what you're saying about he's washed, because you're right. He did nothing interesting with this opportunity. He was just, it's such a washed idea to think you're going to get the same bump from the first video. Whatever. When was that? 7 years ago, 6 years ago, whatever the fuck it was. Like, no, it's gone. No one is even like, Kevin Spacey has ruined it. Like, Kevin Spacey has tried to like get the essence out of it. At this point, it's like refilling the shampoo bottle with water, or like, it's like fucking
shaking it up.
You shake it up. Now it's just water, brother. Yeah. It's just water. It's done.
Oh man. Okay, Felix, it's sort of like a Christmas tradition now. I saw a lot of it this year leading up to Christmas. Those insane and hilarious videos of American parents who arrange for like a Grinch to storm their house and steal their presents, and like kids just attack this Grinch and scream as he like grabs a Christmas tree and runs out of the house. We all think that's hilarious, right? Felix, you just gave me a great idea for what Jewish families can do for Hanukkah. Little visit from Hitler. Oh my God. Comes and steals your presents, freaks out your kids.
I would love that. Like, that makes me want to have kids right now. Yeah. If you're one of the three schizophrenic women who has been following me to public appearances for this past year, I am ready. Anything you accuse me of, I admit to. I put cameras in your bathroom. I don't care. I'm sorry. Let's have 3 kids so I can dress up like Hitler. I love you.
Yep, you're a mean one, Mr. Hitler.
Oh my God! And then you could get like, your brother or your friends to play like Hitler's gang. Like they could be Reinhard Heydrich and Himmler and all. Like it would be like. It would be like
German Shepherd could be Blondie. Be like, oh no, his dog's here too.
I would do a whole fucking production. I'd be like one of those guys who just makes a whole haunted house.
Like how Gentile families go, like the one family on the block that like goes insane with Christmas decorations.
Yeah,
right.
I would recreate the Eagle's Nest in my house. I would get so into it.
Felix.
I would wake my kids up in the middle of the night and be like, we have to fight Hagar the Horrible to win the war. I love that idea.
Get it going, dude.
All right.
Start busting raw.
Well, that's not a problem. I have an allergy to condoms where if I put them on, I automatically am having a bad time. It's an emotional allergy.
I get that, dude. I get that for sure. I have inherited trauma from condom usage. My grandfather had to use a condom and it pissed him off. And because of that, I haven't been able to use condoms.
It's rough.
Make this motherfucking party hype. 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 Make this motherfucking party hype.
All right, well, moving on, Stav, I knew you were on today, so we've arranged sort of, I have a rundown here of news stories related to your hometown, Baltimore, state of Maryland.
Where I am right now.
Yeah. So let's check in. So first of all, Baltimore, Maryland, Stav, I know you must be loving, as the whole city of Baltimore is right now, the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson.
Fucking Ravens, baby.
MVP. I know you. Were you in Baltimore for like the game where he shit all over Cock Turdy and the San Francisco fraudy whiners? He exposed them. He exposed them as frauds.
Oh, you better believe it. I was right here on my couch watching it. It was it was incredible. I mean, it went better than I even considered. I thought it was going to be a tougher game, but yes. Brock Turdy sucks dick. The Niners suck. Fuck them.
I never want to see a white guy win the NFL MVP ever. Get him out of
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, it's Lamar's turn. It's going to be awesome. We're going to fuck the bitch ass Dolphins up. Hopefully, by the
they
time
are frauds
by the
too.
time
They're
this
absolute
comes
frauds. They're absolute frauds. All right, so here's the first one. Here's the first story from Maryland. Headline: Maryland license plates now inadvertently advertising Filipino online casino.
Yes. That's awesome.
Okay, roughly 800,000 Maryland drivers with license plates designed to commemorate the War of 1812 are now inadvertently advertising a website for an online casino based in the Philippines. In 2012, to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the War of 1812, Maryland redesigned the standard license plate to read Maryland War of 1812. The license plates, which were the default between 2002 and 2016, have the URL www.starspangled200.org printed at the bottom.
Wow.
Sometime within the last year, www.starspangled200.org stopped telling people about how Marylander Francis Scott Key was inspired to write the national anthem after watching British ships bombard Fort McHenry in Baltimore during the War of 1812, and instead started redirecting to a site called globeinternational.info, in which blinking bikini-clad women advertised Philippines' best betting site. Deposit 100, receive 250.
Fuck yes, dude. Shout out to that's fucking awesome. I had those plates, by the way. I had those commemorative plates on my old car. That's fucking awesome. And honestly, I guarantee you that. And I went to globeinternational.info right now, and yeah, it's pretty cool. But I guarantee you that is whoever was mayor at the time cut a deal with that casino, because Baltimore just loves. We have such awesome corrupt mayors, dude, and that's just right. I guarantee you somebody got paid in some fucking some banana ketchup or whatever the fuck with that kind of shit. That's a beautiful move. I know there's kickbacks there.
The last time you were on, was it like selling all the schools textbooks or something? It's like, no, the mayor wrote a book that they made the schools buy or something like that.
Was
yeah,
a children's book that they made every school buy a bunch of copies of.
All right.
Yeah.
This is the next Maryland-based story. And Stav, I know this will be of interest to you. General Assembly approves decriminalizing oral sex. Free at last! Free at last! God almighty, I'm free at last.
That's actually why I'm here. I'm leading the parade to celebrate that.
This is Dateline in Annapolis. A bill decriminalizing oral sex is on the way to Governor Wes Moore's desk Friday, despite continued pushback from Republican lawmakers.
Wow! Boo.
What a popular platform to run on. Like, who in the 2024 is saying, like, yeah, we need to keep that law on the books?
You can't be getting
the one that's unenforceable and, like, nobody pays attention to? We got to hold the line here.
Yeah, and what is the thought? Go ahead, finish the reading.
HB 131, Criminal Law, Unnatural or Perverted Sexual Practices, repeal, which would repeal criminalization of oral sex between consenting adults, passed the Senate chamber Friday, 3412. It was cross-filed in the Senate as SB 0054. Current law prohibits Marylanders from placing the person's sexual organ in the mouth of another or an animal, or committing another unnatural or perverted sexual practice with another or with an animal. Violation of this law is a misdemeanor and includes imprisonment of up to 10 years and a fine of not exceeding $10,000.
That's fucking insane. When was that? Were people not getting sucked off in like the 1700s or whatever? Who even wrote that?
I don't know. Some guy with a buckle on his hat in like the 1700s, probably.
And why did we lump animal in? Getting your dick sucked is the same as fucking a donkey in the ass?
Stop!
They're both equally as unnatural.
Stop! It's Maryland. Come on, they had to throw that. Come on, they had to make this is a Maryland state house, not a normal state.
How dare you? It's in your words, Menaker.
Several Republicans tried to stop the bill and oppose it on the floor out of concern that the statute is useful in convicting child sex predators. It's like, I'm sorry, aren't there laws on the books already about how it's illegal to have oral sex with a child?
Listen, we don't got nothing that says you can't fuck a kid. But if you happen to suck a kid's dick, a kid is a person or an animal, technically. so you could go to jail for that. That's the thinking. That's insane.
Yeah, that's
this is like the original run of Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
Yeah, dude. I'm there. I'm in Annapolis, and I'm like, I love getting my dick sucked, and I love eating pussy, and that's why my family came to America.
Stav is filibustering on the floor of the Maryland State Senate, just reading Penthouse Forum from the run from 1981 to 2000.
Senator, you monster! I will not yield.
Okay, this next one is all right. I really love this story. A Frederick Douglass mural in his hometown in Maryland draws some divisions. Okay, Frederick Douglass, he's like one of the great Americans. I wonder what this mural was about. On the wall outside of the Out of the Fire restaurant in Easton, a 21-foot-tall Douglas is seen posed in a slim European-cut suit, high-top white Converse, sneakers, and an oversized wristwatch, squatting like he's posting for Instagram.
Oh,
when
my
his
God.
facial expression has the same look of defiance often captured on the 19th century's most photographed figure. And behind him, dripping graffiti, reads the word liberty. When we came across a print that our friends sent us, a copy of Frederick Douglass in a contemporary setting, we looked at it and it felt very strongly that we were going to move forward with a mural, that it would be a great image to have. So like they basically kind of like hip-hopified Frederick Douglass,
right?
And, which it just doesn't seem very dignified. I don't know.
No.
Yeah. It says here, this quote for the article, it says, Cousin Jack called me and said, have you seen the mural they got up on the wall? Got Uncle Frederick looking like a hoodlum, said Terrence Bailey of the fifth generation descendant of Douglas. God, that's humiliating. Wow. Oh my God.
Man.
Uncle Frederick's looking like a so his great grand nephew or whatever, he's objecting to it on pull up your pants standards. It's like I mean, it doesn't make any fucking all of those like wow, it's like it's Napoleon, but he has face tattoos, or like it's Ariel. It's literally like the same as like Ariel from The Little Mermaid if she was a scene girl. It's like like Frederick Douglass deserves a little more respect than like what if the cast of Seinfeld were hipsters? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
what says here? Well, that literally says, I called the owner of it that night and had a talk with him, Bailey said of the conversation with Marks, and he made comments where he said, I think it reaches out to the youth. And I said, these are the same young black boys we're trying to get to pull up their pants. We don't need them aspiring to something like that. But I think this is corny as fuck. I think like if you're going to do a mural to Frederick Douglass, just present him as he appeared in the era that he lived in this kind of like, like
he was incredibly impressive.
Was pretty fresh, y'all.
This is very embarrassing. This is like, if they put this on Veep, people would be like, that's a stupid storyline.
Yeah. Well, people love doing shit like this though. Like, everyone, and it was like weirdly right before AI. With AI, it's gone crazy, but it's like, remember that feels very like 2012 of like, Disney princesses are punk, or like remember the this is the MAGA one was really funny where there was like people that want to fuck Trump so bad, and they had like imagine if he shaved his head and grew out a beard.
Oh, I love that.
And they had
I love that.
Sexy Trump, and it was like what are we doing here, guys? It's like that's this level of art. Like to call that art, that is the kind of art that's the only thing AI should be able to do. Is AI should put those artists out of business. Anyone who thinks that that's what art should be used for should not have a job.
You're very right. That was a very 2014 thing when they would like draw Ariel from The Little Mermaid wearing like a snapback.
Yes.
And like an Obey t-shirt. And they were like, this is cool.
Yeah.
I will tell you guys some trivia from my working in the media around 2014 days. I believe at one point BuzzFeed had a full-time staffer whose job was to make things like that.
God.
I mean, that's like
awesome.
the absolute like the most perfect distilled version of that is all the RBG shit. All the like,
God.
That's where it all leads to. You know what I mean?
Could we cholify RBG a little bit?
Yeah.
Can we give her some like creased dickies and some tattoos?
I think like the next Hitler will be a guy who got rejected from art school for drawing characters as like swagapinos.
Oh fuck.
The one artistic
that's
style,
beautiful.
the one artistic style I think should be upheld, and I hope is carried forward into this new year and probably the next century, is just anyone. And if you want to use AI, fine. I'd prefer you hand drew it, but anyone who just like produces images of classic cartoon characters smoking weed.
That
keep
is
that
cool.
coming. We keep that coming.
Is awesome.
I want to see what all my favorite cartoon characters look like smoking a big ass doink.
Yeah. Fuck. Because then it's like some of them I do, like you just said that, and I was like, in my head, I was like, damn, I want to see Fred Flintstone high, and he's like grabbing Wilma's ass, you know, like it's even in me, dude. Even these dark desires are in all of us. Or like Fred Flintstone is Tony Soprano. That I saw one of those. That was pretty good. I like that one.
Ooh, how about this? George Jetson as Ray Donovan. And
he's throwing his robot maid in the trash.
Yeah. Think how good Ray Donovan would be at throwing women away in the future. Where you live like 40,000 feet in the sky, you just toss her to the ground, and the Flintstones get her.
How many seasons was Ray Donovan, dude?
Like 48. Ray Donovan. It's so like it's so they contrive so many things to extend the show. Like there's a plot line where his wife, rest in peace, Anne Heche, is like, Ray, I just found out that you throw women in the trash for your job. I'm leaving you. And Ray Donovan will like punch through the garage door. And then he has, Ray Donovan has people who work for him.
Of course.
One's this very beautiful lesbian, and then one is this horrifying Israeli man who's implied to be like a prodigy at throwing women at the trash because of his training in the IDF. he was part of a special, throw women in the dumpster unit.
Right.
And so they'll invent a story where it's like, the lady who works for Ray Donovan is late on her mortgage. I'd be like, I don't care. The woman who works for Ray Donovan, I don't even know her name, and I've seen 700 of these episodes.
He's the man, though.
Yeah, shout out Liev Schreiber.
He's awesome.
Fellow Friends Seminary alum. All my Friends Seminary high school graduates out there. Liev Schreiber, shit. Will Menaker, Julia Stiles, Amanda P.
Who else?
That's right. I went to a private school. That's it. That's the only famous people.
Okay.
All right.
Shout out Pablo Schreiber, too.
Pablo. I may like Pablo even more than Liev, and I like Liev a lot. But Den of Thieves? Come on, man.
Wait. Get the fuck out of here. Wait a second.
That's his half-brother,
this is his fucking brother?
That's his half-brother, yeah.
Oh, that's excellent. The Wire. What are we talking about?
The Wire? Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Nikki Sabatka.
Yeah. You guys just fucking blew my mind. Those guys fucking rule.
Yeah.
They're true. I love them.
I bet they get laid a lot, dude.
Absolutely, dude.
Oh, man. If I was a woman, I would want to be thrown in the trash by Ray Donovan. He seems very safe. He looks like not a teddy bear, but like a real bear. If a bear was a person, it would look like
you keep him fed, you're fine, but you cross that bear, and Liev Schreiber / Ray Donovan will fucking fuck you up.
I feel like a lot of women secretly would love to be thrown in the trash.
I agree, man.
New Year's resolution.
Yeah, throwing bitches in the garbage chute.
Okay. All right, I got one last Baltimore story for you here.
Let's do it.
This is from the Baltimore Banner from November of this year. Headline: A steady stream of pee is eroding Baltimore's historic buildings.
Yep.
Many of downtown Baltimore's buildings are slowly being washed away. The problem is less of flooding and rain, more golden showers. That's right. Pee is eroding thousands of historic buildings downtown. The exterior base is corroding with every spurt. The block of North Howard between Lexington and Saratoga Street is in many ways a pee epicenter. Many of these older buildings were built with soft brick and mortar, according to city planner Caitlin Audette, who is consulting with Downtown Partnership on the public bathroom project. These buildings are more susceptible to damage from outside elements like water and obviously pee, which can degrade the soft material over time, especially if it's constant exposure. It doesn't matter what time it is. Every day and night, said local business owner. It's relentless. He's called anyone he can think of to help, be it City Hall or the Baltimore Police Department. They did make some attempts to alleviate the issue, he said. Now there's a sign on Clay Street that says no peeing.
I'm glad someone's working on this.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's a lot of peeing outside.
You should be able to piss outside. I mean,
if there's no public toilets, I think you should absolutely be able to piss outside.
Then that's exactly it. Everyone should let people shit and piss inside their fucking. We need more public toilets. We need nice ones. We should fucking put bidets in the fucking public bathrooms. You go to Japan, every toilet licks your ass. We need that in Baltimore.
Do you know, my guys, my criminal record is limited only to one arrest in Providence, Rhode Island for urinating outside.
Where were you?
I was like, no, it wasn't Thayer Street. It was somewhere in downtown Providence, and it was outside a club that we were seeing a concert at. And I just, I'm from New York, so I was just
come on, Bill. You can't keep New York Bill's piss in his pants.
It was so many, and it was like I was like peeing in front of and there was sort of blacked out glass in front of me that was basically a perfect mirror. And I'm like, I'm shaking off, and my eyes come up, and I just see the berries, and the car just stops, and I'm like, oh fuck.
Brutal.
So yeah, that's my lengthy criminal record there.
Yeah, they should get more outside urinals. There should be places to piss. They're fucking up with that. And I also think if you piss through a building's foundation, you now own the plot of land the building's on. I think that should be part of the law. If you piss so nice and strong, you should get to keep the building.
Well, best of luck to Baltimore's historic buildings. I hope they withstand this constant onslaught of urine. But I think we should wrap it up there for today. Stav, thank you so much for joining us today.
Fellas, thank you for having me.
Fat Rascal on Netflix now. I saw you at the Beacon the other week.
Great shows.
Absolute fire.